What's going on, everyone? This is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I will be reading some mean, not tweets, but mean comments from my YouTube channel. I thought it would be just funny to kind of read it out loud and show you my reaction. Obviously, this is inspired by Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweets with the celebrities. So thanks for the inspiration. Let's get started with this funny video. Okay, so the first one I'll read is titled, it's from a video actually where I talk about the market being cooler. And the comment says, I clicked on this video thinking it would be a cooking video. Kitchen arrow is that way. And he is right. My kitchen is that way. Yeah, so there we go. Next one. This is from a video where I kind of talked about my perspective on Zero Cool's first release with VeeFriends partnership. And the comment says, coming from the person who pumped soccer, base, F1 and Marvel, you're just a market manipulator with a large purse than the average collector. Most people can't afford to bid with these influencers and hype beasts. The hobby doesn't benefit just that close-knit community of people who stroke each other's ego. Surprised nobody calls this woman out more on her BS. Interesting stuff. So, soccer base, man, I wish I pumped that. But I got crushed from the 2014 World Cup soccer base. I think at one point I made a video about this, so you can click on it if you want. I bought Ronaldo base and Messi base and like Mbappe base from 2018 World Cup for like over $3,000, I think. And you know who you are, Henry. Bought that from you I think we met up somewhere in like Arcadia or somewhere in SGV for that deal in front of Bank of America. So yes, I wish I pumped soccer base and was successful at it. But I mean, F1, yes, I do collect, but Marvel, guys, you know that my background is actually not from the States. I moved here, long story short, I moved here when I was 12, and so I actually don't connect really well with Marvel. I mean, I think the movies are really cool because of all the graphics and whatnot, but I don't resonate 100%. So, all that to say, I own nothing Marvel. I'm trying to think if my kids even have Marvel stuff. No, we don't. Not even Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, nothing. So I want to get more into it, but I own nothing Marvel. They're probably too expensive at this point. So funny comment there. Next one. This is from the video where I showed cards that I picked up from the National. So it was a recent video. Comment says, is F1 all that you collect? I think the F1 cards don't have nowhere to go except down. Most people I talk to have no clue of F1 cards. I think most collectors don't have a clue who are the top 2 drivers. You got to have demand for those cards or you setting yourself for a loss. Give vintage the top 3 sports a chance. They're pretty steady and are going up every day in value. I know there are people born every day who are clueless and don't realize they're wasting their money. You mentioned soccer, you may have a slight chance in surviving in the card market. Quote, stupid is, comma, as stupid does. Wow, that was a lot. Is F1 all that you collect? So simple answer to that is no. I just bought my biggest soccer card last weekend. Also do some tennis, obviously some basketball as well. Basketball is expensive, guys. Sheesh. Anyways, most of this person's friends have no clue of F1 cards. And I would agree. Most of my friends actually have no clue what F1 cards are. Actually, most of my friends don't know what cards are. So I have to agree with you there. Yeah, and I guess most people don't know who the top 2 drivers are. give vintage top 3 sports a chance. I would love to. You know, some of these big cards that I see, yeah, I would love to own like a very like low graded like PSA 1, PSA 2s of it. But guess what? They're expensive too. And I have to, this is like something that a lot of people say, and so I'll plus one into that. You have to love what you are buying. Like, tell me to go buy luxury handbags, I just have no like desire for that. You know what I mean? Like, if you tell me to go scoop out like good value game tickets for Warriors or Lakers or whatever, I'll be able to do it and I'll have fun doing it. But if you tell me X, Y, and Z bag is releasing from Louis Vuitton or, you know, Hermes or whatever, yeah, that feels like work, you know. But yeah, I would love to get into vintage basketball, but just haven't had the chance. So stupid is as stupid does. Yeah. Next one. This one's kind of, yeah, you'll see why I made that face. So this was from the video where I gave an update on my career, my most recent career, where I began working for a company within the industry. Says, quits for more time with family, instantly takes a new position, touting a positive change to the industry for a corporation that knows wholeheartedly for a long time that more females and minorities need to be included or promoted, while simultaneously bashing SGC and other grading companies at subpar, and grabs cards for collection that get traded or sold that same day if a better sale or investment opportunity pops up. Yeah, maybe this person didn't watch the full video. I didn't instantly take the position, but I did take the position, yes. So there's that. Touting a positive change to the industry. That's the goal. Not sure if I would, but that's the goal. For a corporation that knows wholeheartedly for a long time that more females and minorities needed to be included or promoted. So I guess the person is trying to say that I got hired because I am a female and I am a minority. You know, you're probably not wrong. You know, that's probably not the only reason why. Then, I mean, the whole company might be minorities and females. I don't know. But maybe it was a factor in it. Simultaneously bashing SGC and other grading companies. I wasn't bashing. As you guys have seen, I have a lot of SGC cards. I think SGC's specialty is definitely in the vintage. That's their core sort of bread and butter. They saw their numbers go up tremendously the last like 12 to 18 months because of PSA shutdown that happened last year. I don't think anyone would argue with that. I think in that video that I had where I was comparing SGC or PSA, like where I would grade with, I think I was talking a lot about what would you actually see value with if you're willing to wait a little bit longer. And if you go on PSA's website now, I think they give you an approximate estimate of when each of those grading tiers will return your card back. I think before they didn't even have that, but now they have like an approximate timeline basically upon submission, receipt, and then like when you'll get that back. So that's changed. And grabs cards for collection that get traded or sold that same day if a better sale or investment opportunity pops up. I wish I had this kind of velocity, honestly. I wish I had this much, you know, sales avenues or connections and networks to be able to flip through cards every single day. But quite frankly, that's not the reality. There are probably like 10 cards in my collection that I would never sell in like current or future value. I mean, here's a good example. I would not have sold or gotten rid of my Curry rookie cards. So one of them was a Bowman, 2009 Bowman PSA 10, and then the other was the Exquisite Auto. It was a BGS 8.5, I think. I love those cards. Both of them, I grabbed them from Burbank, actually, way back when. I think back in 2020 when Ryan, I was in the shop and Ryan was telling me that this person just like drove down from NorCal and like dropped off a handful of curry cards, and it's like insane. And at that point, I scooped up those 2 cards, I think Bowman and the Exquisite Auto B85, and also a Panini case sealed Flawless 2018 out of 5 Curry Auto, patch auto. I picked those up, like I loved it. And my family, we were very strong Warrior supporter. I'm not so much, but my family is for sure. Coming from the Bay Area, so I would have never really gotten rid of those. Like it's like, what's the point? What else would I get? Maybe another bigger Curry card, maybe. But I ended up kind of letting those go in a trade for a card that I actually really, really wanted, and I made a video about it, and that was probably the biggest trade deal that I made. So the person I was dealing with, Sean, he looked at my collection and he wanted those cards, and because he's a big Curry fan. And like at that point, it's like either I give those cards up or I have to pay all of that in cash, and I didn't have that much cash, So that was one way that those cards left my hands. But in some, yeah, I wish I had that kind of velocity where if I want to, let me show off this card that I just got. It's a Grosjean 2020 Topps Chrome Gold, part of the set that I'm building. But yeah, like let's say I want to flip this today. Again, flipping should not have a negative connotation in my opinion, because everything in capitalism is essentially a flipped good, whether you attach more value to it or whatever it is. Like houses are flipped, cars are flipped, and that's a real business, legitimate business. And there's, obviously the market condition, but also value add that folks bring. But anyways, that's for another conversation on my take on flippers and investors and collectors and all of that. But yeah, to answer this question directly, sold that same day if a better sale investment opportunity pops up. Yeah, maybe not same day, but maybe same year I might do it. Maybe even same month. Anyways, that was pretty long on that one. Next up is a video that I had posted on Instagram. I will show it here as well. So it was a video, to give you a gist of it, where I essentially got a box from StockX, and I had ordered a 2020 Topps Chrome Sapphire Formula One sealed wax, hobby sealed wax. And I opened it up, and the box was already open. I couldn't believe that that had happened. There was nothing in the box, but when I lifted the box, there were wrappers that were torn open literally from the middle. Like it wasn't from the back, how we always open it from the back, like, we open Pop-Tarts, but it was like down the middle, kind of like, I don't even know how it was done. Maybe a knife, maybe a small scissors. And so I was like, oh my God, I should probably record this, being a content creator that I am, right? So I record it and then I post it, and here's some comments that I got. Comment number 1: if you start selling on Whatnot in the near future, I'm calling cap. And guys, again, I'm not that young, and I'm not from the States. I have no idea what calling cap meant. Like I've seen blue hats like around social media, but I had no idea what calling cap meant. Am I aging myself? Maybe. But like culturally, there's like a lot of things like that I don't understand, and this is definitely one. And I had to ask a friend, what does this mean? And he's explained that basically if they see me selling Sapphire, I guess, cards or whatever on Whatnot, they will believe that it was because like I had falsely claimed that this box was already open before I opened it. And there's like a couple comments in there where folks ask like, why did you start recording the video after it was open? I'm like, I had no idea people recorded boxes before it was open. My gosh, like now I will, because I've been like told like, are you stupid? Why wouldn't you do that? But I have never recorded like me opening a box, because I thought that I would get skimmed, right? And then I thought about this even like in depth, and it's like, okay, but what if like I did record before the box was open, and then I opened the box like with one hand camera and the other hand with a knife, opening the box, carefully, not trying to cut myself. And then I open it, and then let's say the box was empty. I'm sure there'll be comments. I'm sure there are people who will say, oh, you had already opened it and opened the wax, resealed it, and then recorded it, right? Like, I mean, how can you ever cover all bases? You can't. But anyways, that was one of the comment. It's like, if you start selling on Walnut in the near future, I'm calling Cap. You can call Cap then. Okay? All right. And then another comment that's similar, and it was in all caps, says, this is Cap. Clout farming. I hope that's how you say it. Clout. Is it clout or clout? Clout farming. And yeah, to address this, right? Like, people are like, oh, you just want attention. Yeah, like, of course, like, if I didn't want attention at all in my life, why would I even be making this video or like posting on social media? Absolutely. So when I kind of go back to the core of my thought process, yeah, I am attention seeking. I do feel happy when certain videos do really well, because I feel like my time was worth it, and that others appreciate the content that I make, or you know, my journey of collecting, etc. And to be very, very straightforward, I do this purely for fun, and I will support that statement with a video to come where I show you how much I make from YouTube. You're gonna be shocked, I'm telling you. But yeah, it's a progress. You know, a lot of folks also give me feedback. I mean, these are just, you know, like one-off comments that I, you know, read. You know, I read on the YouTube channel, but there are 99% of you who have been nothing but supportive and really giving me constructive feedback too, like change the lighting, get a better mic, you know, your lighting is off, things like that. I do really appreciate. And I even get direct messages on like, hey, do you want to borrow my gimbal? It's like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing if I can try it out before I spend like $1,000 on a gimbal, which is like a camera stabilizer. Anyways, yeah, really do appreciate all the comments. I think the algorithm loves it too. We're like close to 10,000. I would have never imagined this as like a goal or a benchmark, to be honest. And so, yeah, so really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Keep it light. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. That was awesome.